Yo, what's good with you? It's your boy Theo. You already know we back with another reaction video. If you're new, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. If you're not new, make sure you drop a like and a comment and share it to whoever you want to share it to. Make sure y'all help me grow this channel. And without further ado, we're finna go ahead and hop into this reaction.
Were called after a woman was caught smoking cannabis with her underage daughter, but her
Failed already.
reason for doing it wasn't what you'd expect.
Yes, I am.
All right. Well, fine. I got my body camera on, so.
Can we step outside so we don't bother the neighbors? I was getting ready to call you guys too.
For what?
Mostly because I have questions.
All right. Go ahead.
I'm already knowing this about my. Last night I was out in my car. I was smoking weed.
Okay.
Obviously, I'm fucking 21. It's legal. I can smoke weed.
Okay.
I do smoke with my child every once in a while because she's damn near 18. But the only reason why I do that is because
That's not 21.
if I lean on her, like I don't let her smoke, and if I lean on her, she's gonna go find it somewhere else. And right now they're spending on weed. I just had one of my good friends die because of that. So I tell her every once in a while I'll let her smoke. Every once in a great blue moon. My cousin came out because my little cousin came out.
Is the chicken done?
Yeah, the chicken's done. You can cut it off though. Yeah. So my little cousin came out and I told her.
I mean, that's understandable because it is fentanyl. That's why I only go to the dispensary. Like, personally, me, I just go to the dispensary because I ain't got time. You know, I ain't got time for that.
Because her dad.
But that's still your daughter at the end of the day, and I understand that you're trying to protect her. But smoking with her, like, come on now. If you're going to do something like that, just get her little gram and tell her to, go on about her business. But smoking with her, I don't know. Both of them probably bad, but
I told her, go back in the house. And she was like, I just want Maya's drink. That's my oldest.
Okay.
I said, well, get the damn drink and then go back in the house because you know if your dad comes outside and sees you out here, he's going to snap.
Okay.
Not even 2 seconds later. I'm like literally not even 2 seconds later, he came outside.
Okay.
He called her in the house. So I'm sitting there, I hear him yelling at her. I see him through the window, smack the hell out of her.
Okay.
So then he comes out and he starts screaming at me and was like, smoking my child. I said, Nate, I didn't smoke with her. I don't do that. I have an 18, 19-year-old nephew that I won't smoke with because he's not my child.
Okay.
So I'm like, I did not smoke with her. And he was like, you nigger loving, blah, blah, blah. I'm like,
damn.
dude, I did not smoke with the child. He's like, if you smoke with her again, you're out at the end of the month. I'm going to leave anyway because the shit you're saying.
Okay.
And I have black kids.
Okay.
They cried and had nightmares over it last night. I was like, but go get her a blood test, Nate, and take the blood test. It will tell you when's the last time she smoked.
Gotcha.
That will show you if that's the case and I smoke with her, she smoked in the last 24 hours, right?
Okay.
So go get her a blood test. I went this morning. I bought a whole marijuana test. It was sitting on his table. I bought a whole test. He refused to give it to her.
Okay.
You called me a liar. You threatened me. You pushed me down the stairs last night, which I could have called the cops on him for last night, but I didn't.
Okay.
Because I understand as a father, but I also know that my cousin is not mentally all the way there. He needs mental help.
Okay.
So I just let it go, and I went to sleep. I got up this morning. I just packed all my shit, and I just left because I don't want no problems. But now you're posting it on Facebook that I smoke with your child. If that's the case, then go get the blood test.
Sure.
Because that will show that guarantee you she's clean because that girl is scared as hell of her dad.
She stuck with her the other day. Like, I know you're not smoking. Your dad might be out here doing this. So
My daughter's about to be 18. I don't want her smoking, but she's going to do it anyway.
Let me get some information from you. How do you spell?
That's crazy.
But yeah, I was going to call you guys.
You already admitted that you smoke with her sometimes. So it's like, I don't know. Maybe you just want smoking with her that night.
Because I told him, I said, I'm going to call the cops anyway because I want her to get a drug test because I just cussed her out the other, well, not really cussed her out, but you know, as a big cousin, you know what I'm saying? I put her to the side because she kept coming to my room when I would smoke, and I don't like that.
Okay.
So I would tell her, like, no, you got to get out and smoking. And I asked her one day, I said, are you smoking? And she was like, no. I said, then why the you keep coming to my room when you know I'm about to smoke?
Okay.
You know I don't like that. Get out of my room. And I was like, when's the last time you smoked? And she was like, last time I smoked was when my dad let me. And she said it had been like 6 months ago. He let her hit a dab pen. And I don't smoke those. So, I don't know. But because I went and bought a marijuana test this morning. He didn't even make her take it. You're accusing me of doing it. If my thing is, I told him to call the cops. I said so they could get a blood test because they're gonna be able to tell. And I know this because I had a blood test done on me, and they told me exactly the last time I smoked, and it had been like 28 days because I quit smoking. And they told me exactly around the time that I smoked last, and I was like, yeah, you're right. And they were like, okay, we just see a small, trace, but, you're not going to be able to get the job because it's in your system. I'm like, but anyways, that's not the point. But, I told him, go get a blood test. That's going to prove that I didn't smoke with her, bro. And then you got other people threatening me to pull up on me because Nick told them where I live to fight me. I'm like, listen, if y'all want to fight me over some shit I didn't do, that's fine.
I ain't gonna lie,
But
she
at the
ain't
end of the
stopped
day,
rambling
I know
since
what
he
I did
didn't
and did not
started
do,
talking.
and I would never smoke with anybody else's kid. I won't even smoke with my own nephews.
Currently staying here then?
Just for a couple of weeks.
Okay.
It was just kind of, I didn't want to be here either. I didn't really want to be there, but he needed help, and
Gotcha.
we kind of both was kind of like scratching each other's back. He couldn't pay all the rent, and I was like, well, I could give you guys some rent, whatever, whatnot, because I originally asked him, did he know when he was renting? And he was like, well, I got to re-sign my lease, cuz why don't you come over here? And I'm like, that's fine. And I don't want her out there smoking. I don't want my child out here smoking, but she about to be 18. There's not really much I can do. And at least I know, what I'm saying, if an eye on her, she ain't going to be out here getting shit she ain't supposed to be getting hold of. But I don't play with other people's kids like that. And I don't know if you guys can do that, which is why I told him I was going to call you guys, because I don't know if you guys can do that or get a blood test. And make sure, like I said, she got a whole marijuana test on the table over there.
We can't make them do anything in that regard.
I know she's clean, though, officer. Like, I know she's clean. This is why I was like, go get that blood test on her, and he wouldn't do it. Because he knows I'm telling the truth, and he's trying to make himself look good on Facebook for all his friends right now.
And then, so that takes care of that portion. They did mention back on the 21st, you had come downstairs and for a belt to hit with.
I don't even have a belt, neither does she.
Okay.
And I would never whoop my kids with a belt. I don't even whoop my kids. I've smacked their hands, I've smacked with my hand, but 9 times out of 10, him.
Sure.
But I will,
It's
like,
just
pop them in the
parental
ass, like,
discipline.
bro, don't do that. We don't hit girls.
Okay. But nothing, I guess,
But I've
excessive.
never,
Okay.
I've never beat my kids.
Do you mind if I talk to them real
You
quick?
could talk to all three of them. Actually, my oldest is at the fair.
Oh,
All right.
it be so much shit going on nowadays, bruh.
That takes care of that. So yeah, like I said, I just have to ask questions because
Whole family going
all
on
different things,
Facebook
and so I
with
gotta
business.
No
kind
problem
of follow
with
up.
you doing that.
This
That's
is
why I said
crazy.
I'm going to stay in here so you don't think I don't want my babies to think anything.
All right. So with last night, what happened was you and your were in the car smoking. That's when you came outside asking for a drink. You told her to leave because you guys were smoking. Basically, as soon as you told her to leave and she was about ready to go inside, that's whenever Dad pulled her aside. You said, smacked her, I guess.
He waited till she was in the house first, and I heard him yelling at her, but I could see through the window on the right side.
Okay.
Like I was in the driveway where like the little mud rut was. That's where I was sitting. You could see dead in the window, and he smacked the dog shit out of her. When I say he smacked her, she flew to the side. She went out of
That
the
ain't
picture.
even funny,
I
but
could not see her in the window no more.
oh my god.
And what's crazy is that's just what he does. But I didn't say anything. And then when I came upstairs to go outside to smoke a cigarette, she said something to me like, I need to get out of here. And I was like, baby, I was here in the room. I don't know what the was doing in there, but I seen him go in your room. You need to mind your business. This ain't got nothing to do with you. You know what, whatever. So I went outside on the back deck and I started smoking a cigarette, and I was looking through the through the sliding door that I smoked with her last night. You could see in the girl want to say it.
Okay.
Like my kids, they fear certain things. Like I know if my son be like, I know if I put my hands on my sister, my mom's gonna whoop my butt. I know if I do this, I'm gonna get in trouble. But it's not a fear of me.
And then you said those occasions were.
So,
Okay.
but I didn't physically see it, so I'm not gonna say. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But yeah, I would say last week-ish, Tuesday-ish. I don't remember the date. But it was like last Tuesday-ish because I had worked that day, and I don't work on Mondays, and that was the first day that I worked.
So Tuesday of last
Tuesday,
week.
yeah.
Okay.
So I'm in there cooking, and I come out of the kitchen into the living room, and I seen, because I was going to go downstairs, and I said, I did not smoke with her, bro. I told her to go in the house.
Okay.
So when he was done yelling at me, threatening me that he was going to me, and then he pushed me down the stairs, I just stood up, and I was like, you know what, bro? I said, get
You
the
should have
away
hit him
from
in
the
his
car.
shit.
Okay.
Just like I do my kids. I don't smoke around my kids. Now, my oldest, like I said, that's one thing. But my younger
What's up
kids,
say? You just
I
said
don't
you
even
smoke with the
cigarettes
girl
around.
that's 18.
Because I smoke cigarettes. That's why I be in my car or I be out back.
Okay.
So I had told him, I said, get the my car. So he walks up on, and I know that you guys are trained for demeanors, and I know that you guys are trained for stuff like that. If you that video that he posted, that her saying that I smoked with her last night, you could see it in her face. She did not want to say that.
Okay. All right. Give me a couple minutes. I'll be back up with you. Just give me a couple minutes, and I'll be back
You
up.
want a
Okay.
Chipotle bowl?
No, thank you.
The Chipotle
All
bowl
right.
is crazy.
So I got some paperwork for you. So the incident is just going to be documented. So this whole thing is going to be documented in a report. Since that happened on.
Also, tonight, we're on their way.
Okay.
I didn't say anything to her, but if you want to wait and pull them to the side to have a conversation with them by themselves, that's on you. But they are on their way back from the fair.
That will happen
Honestly,
last. Okay. I don't really want to question them just because of their age and stuff like that.
But my point is,
Okay.
so if you want to talk to them, they're almost back.
Okay. So what it's going to be for like the earlier case is just child endangerment.
For what? Because I didn't do anything.
No, that's just for him.
Oh,
So
him?
yes.
For me saying what I said?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a separate incident
I'm
than
gonna
what
say
this is going
for
to be.
me,
If you could just put your signature right down there. You're not really the victim. We just kind of have to get your signature since you're the one that reported it.
okay. And like I said, my daughter was there. She's on her way back.
Here's your copy. All right. So just with the allegation of it and you admitting to it,
Down on a teenager, and you know that fentanyl is running very well through weed out here. So I made a deal with her.
Gotcha.
And
So
he only smokes like maybe once.
with him bringing it up to me
That's
and then you
cap.
admitting it to me, I do have to take some kind of enforcement action on it, okay? I understand why you're doing it, but I just have to enforce the laws and ordinances
That's
of
fine.
normal, okay?
But I just wanted you to know that I wasn't lying because
no,
I
I bel-
happily admit.
No, I believe you. I believe that you didn't provide it to Jay. So, but with you admitting it, that you give it to your 17-year-old daughter, I do have to issue. I'm just going to issue an ordinance violation, okay?
Okay, that's fine. How much is
basi-
the ticket?
It's $350, so it's kind of pricey, but it doesn't go on your record or anything like that.
I'll pay that $350. I don't care as long as I know that she's not out here getting weed with
Sure.
fentanyl.
And like I said, I understand why you're doing it. I just
Very
have to take
understandable.
Because I
enforcement action
tried to
whenever.
crack down on her and be like, hey, no, we're not smoking, and she was out doing it anyway. So
Gotcha.
I was like, okay, let's make a deal.
Gotcha. And you do have a court date if you choose to go. You do not have to. You can always go there to argue that. I'm not too sure. Just like again, just because understand where you're coming from, it's still technically a violation of the local laws and ordinances.
And I already
So
knew he's gonna tell you that, but like I said, I have nothing to hide.
I gotcha. How to pay it is going to be on the back here. Like I said, it's a civil thing. So as long as you pay it by that court date, nothing. Because basically,
Oh no. I at least have my daughter try to do something before she just starts smoking. Try some type of career. Try some. But no,
it goes away like a parking ticket.
everybody there.
Just make sure you.
By the 23rd?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Of July. So you have a little bit of time. It'll take probably a couple days. Probably give it till like Wednesday, Thursday. So because the paperwork has to fly and go over to the city hall and stuff like that. But like I said, think of it as an expensive parking ticket.
Yeah.
Because like I said, I mean it is a criminal offense, but I understand where you're coming from, and I didn't want to
Yeah, because I tried to get her not.
I didn't want to give that to you, the criminal offense.
I was my child off fentanyl either, so.
Sure. No, I completely understand.
Kids don't like to listen.
No domestic battery charges were filed, but she was cited for facilitating cannabis use to a minor, and the case was reported to Child Services.
Well, let me know how y'all feel about that. Drop a comment down below and let me hear y'all sides to this story. But make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe for more reaction videos. And I'm gone.